Hello, good evening, Speed Gaming. And yeah, we're live with more Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 6. We're about midway through week 1, and tonight we've got a matchup between your mom's favorite Rando team, and I don't know about you, but maybe not my mom's favorite Rando team, and the Tau Roomies. We got Fear Agent and Gamachu versus Artie Walsh and Jay Meisher. I'm Radical Sniper 99, joined tonight by Drossi with Valady and Cassidy Moen on the tracking. Hello, Drossi.
Hello. I'm pretty psyched for this. This is actually a rematch. These teams faced each other in Season 3. So, it's been a while for them, but these runners are certainly familiar to each other.
Yeah, and this is a busy night for this division. This is the Kakariko division. Monday night, we saw the first game of the division with my own team, JKLOL, winning against Saha's Kids. But right now, I can tell you, we've got a match between Amish Paradise and Leftovers Restocked happening. And then we also have, kicking off soon, a match between the Vendrana Drifters and Don't Forget to Track Us. So the other 6 teams all getting their first game in tonight, right now.
Yeah, unfortunately that match isn't getting a restream, but we hope you enjoyed this one in the meantime.
Yeah, great night here. This is co-op all dungeons, so what's going to happen is our runners, Fear and Gamma, and Walsh and Meisher, are each in a voice call with their teammate. What's going to happen? You try to divide up the checks, find stuff as fast as you can, and beat all the dungeons, all the crystals, all the pendants, Aga 1, Aga 2, and Ganon, and we are off. Oh, a nice split here, top bottom. Powder and arrows, though.
And we get a map check. 3 crystals in the light world, including a 5-6 in Eastern. Of course, we have to do all the dungeons anyway, and honestly, since the Dark World dungeons tend to have more requirements for entry, that slightly increases the possibility of GT locking 1 or more pendant dungeons.
Yeah, that's always a good feeling in this mode. We did get Gamma going to the front, and he does find the book.
Yeah, speaking of Light World dungeons, and there are the boots sitting right in the mushroom spot. So I'm sure all of our runners will get them very quickly.
Yeah, surprised by the skip of the scout for Walsh, but not a terrible idea. Especially if you get the boots that early, probably going to check later.
Yeah, Fear should find the boots in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, we also have the fact that Tau Roomies converging here on Kakariko together from the north-south divergence, whereas your mom's favorite team, they decided to do a little bit more of a varied start.
I love how, like, Gamachu saves and quits the instant Fear gets the boots.
I mean, you want those boots, and realistically, it's not bad for Gamma. He's going to probably do a ped read here early.
Ooh, and we got our first sword in Chicken Hut.
Yeah, and just as I thought, Artie Walsh is going to backtrack a little bit to do this Lumberjack ledge check. And that was a pearl. I was like...
A moon pearl, yes.
I thought I saw something there of importance, and I was like, no, it can't be. But Walsh gave me a little bit better of a view on that one to say that, yes, that is a moon pearl. We will be killing Aga very early tonight.
That explains the early boots and the early sword.
Yeah. And the early lamp.
So we are a cape or a second sword away from Aga access and thus Moon Pearl.
I do see Flippers tracked over on Jay Meisher's side, so we have all the footwear. And wait, did Gamma save and quit after getting his boots as well?
He must have if he's now back on the south side.
Okay. I saw we got a glove out of the back of Saha's closet there.
And more importantly, a red meringue.
Yes, of course. We can never neglect that red meringue.
But yeah, looks like the glove is leading to an immediate back of escape play, which is not surprising.
Yeah, if at all possible, I'd really hope, as a runner, I'd hope to be able to avoid Eastern tonight before getting a bow. So I like the play. And oh, wow, there's our mitts.
Wow. So as soon as we beat Aga, we can grab the Moon Pearl and then have non-Aga Dark World access too.
Yeah. Both sides of Dark World.
Looks like Walsh wants to check out the front of escape. Oh, right, they still haven't done Uncle.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't get Walsh finishing up Kakariko, though. Like, the Sword and Lamp are there. I'd want to try to delay a little bit on this play in order to hit Aga with Hyrule Castle. Like, where that Pearl is. Like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this decision at the moment.
So, we had Bugnet in the dam. I wonder if Fear will lie to Gamma and tell him that the chest is nothing, just so Gamma doesn't get the Bugnet. And there's
oh my gosh.
Wow.
This is a very nice seed.
Yeah.
Besides, like,
Flooded Spot, Blue Mail on Mini Moldorm NPC.
I mean, even with having to do Aga early, like, this is a really good setup.
Yeah, it's at this AD, you have to do Aga at some point, so it doesn't... other than the increased overworld enemies, it doesn't really affect much to do them early. Okay, there's the cape for Aga access sitting at the chamber.
Okay, now the question is, who is somebody on your... How do you want to abbreviate Fear and Gamma's team?
Team Kappa. They will always be Team Kappa.
Fair enough. Okay, so Fear is going to get that glove out of Sahashwal. I was kind of a little concerned if he might try to rush Aga given his equipment now.
Oh, by the way, with the small key being in the back of escape, the glove in the back of escape is logically locked by the glove in the back of Saha.
Right. But yeah, if just to kind of give a history, if people have not seen the teams in a while, Roomies has been around since season 2. And these 3 last seasons, they have been the same lineup of Plasma Kappa, RD Walsh, and Jay Meisher. So pretty used to seeing this trio. Yeah, as you were saying, your mom's favorite Rando team has had many different iterations, all the way back to season 1.
Yeah, since season 2, it's been Fear, Gamma, and someone else. This year, that someone else is Shireen. Oh, we have a Master Sword and Logic as well, so pick your Aga access.
Give me both, please.
But that also means that Tile Roomies don't necessarily need to make their way over to Agena.
No, but does that make something like, does Meisher decide to... Okay, so Meisher is... I was about to say, is he going to go south? The question is, do you kind of see a little bit of a skip of Dam slash... the dam at all skipped for a little bit because this is Dark World access without having to worry about, a hammer. That's a nice little bonus information for Fear and Gamachu here.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting that Tile Roomies have not done South Shore yet, and already Walsh hasn't even gotten his sword yet. He's finally going to CAC to get it now.
Well, and he was in CAC. Oh, he did get a bow, though. Where was that bow? Was that front of escape?
I missed that. Must have been.
And the unfortunate part here is that, like, Artie Walsh could have gotten the hammer first before coming back to CAC and gotten the bat check.
Yeah, because that powder was sitting in Sank, so everyone got it. If you'll pardon the expression, right off the bat.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Okay, so both teams know about the Master Sword at this point. And they both know about Moon Pearl, right?
Yes. Fear did scout as well as Walsh.
Okay. And now Gamma's going to get his hammer. We'll see if he collects the bug net. If he doesn't, it must be because Fear lied to him.
I mean... Oh, yeah. I don't know. The other side of this is, if you're Gamma, do you consider maybe knocking out Desert?
Yeah, we do have a fire source and boots and a glove. It is full clearable.
And he's going that way. Like, I can't, like, I can see getting the cape, but I wouldn't get it before, like, just full clear Desert here. And his dash lines are indicating, yeah, he's going for Desert. Oh, and that's a shovel. Oh, bow was Dark Cross, so there is that bow for a Fear agent.
Okay. Where was the shovel?
Desert Ledge.
So. Because I was like, you said it, and then I didn't see it on anyone's tracker, and that explains it.
Yep. And Fear Agent going right into Aga Tower now.
I mean, why not? You know where the Moon Pearl is.
Yeah, and realistically for Fear with that bow, he can easily, you know, get that hammer, get that pearl, save and quit, do Eastern into pod. Like, no reason to not just combo those plays.
Well, chat's been remarkably quiet, but we might as well give them something to waste their channel points on. Predict how many blue balls we will be getting from Aga today.
I just realized Mishra is quite a bit ahead of Fear here in Aga Tower. And Artie Walsh did make the rest of the trek over to Desert Palace here. I think the one thing that's kind of unfortunate is Walsh having done all of Hyrule Castle and not being able to pair it with Aga.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, you know, since Mishra had the sword. I was honestly surprised that Walsh did escape without the sword.
Yeah.
There's that shovel. Wonder if Gamma will check it before doing Aga Climb. I'm guessing he will. Well, get your predictions in because we're going to be closing it soon. What do you think, Jesse? Is this going to be a good Aga or a bad Aga?
I mean, the Aga was required. Usually that means a little bit better of an Aga. At least in my opinion.
You're an optimist.
Just a little bit. I was about to say, are we going to get some NMG Landmo, but Gamma has no bow. And I'm already cursed. That is one blue ball.
I mean, that's not necessarily bad. Okay, that's two.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, this isn't exactly how you want to do your Landmo fight, but Gamma's making it work.
Keeping his sword beams, getting a lot of good hits, that's for sure. And whew, nice double spin there.
And that was just two, so that's pretty good Aga.
Yeah. Just bombs off a Landmolus. And Gamma is going to get his cape before heading over to Aga at this rate.
And we get a Dark World check. That was green pendant Skullwoods with the other pendants on Turtle Rock and Ice Palace, and Odd having the other 5/6 crystal.
That does limit what could be in GT quite a bit.
Right, because we need all the stuff for Swamp.
And we will need Samaria for sure.
Right.
As well as Flute. I know I see chat saying Fire Rod could be in GT, which, ooh, yeah.
Either Rod could be in GT, and Turtle Rock Medallion if it's different from Mire Medallion.
Nice hammer strats there from RD Walsh to take down Landmo. Did Gamma skip his bow?
Yeah, I don't think he went back to Dark Cross.
Interesting choice.
I mean, I guess he can get it any time. And there is the Jawbreaker for Jay Meisher. So we'll see our first set of Dark World exploring. He still hasn't gotten his hammer, so I think he's gonna... No? I thought he was gonna go, get the hammer, because that makes Dark World navigation a lot easier, and I think he just realized. Especially since you don't have the mirror yet. If you use Aga Portal, then you can't get the hammer.
Yeah, and Walsh is still going to go get that second sword. I like it. I think my only worry here is everybody's kind of abandoned. Like, I don't know when any of our runners actually go and get the get Zora.
Yeah, it is pretty isolated, and no one's anywhere near $500 even so.
Yeah, we've been loaded item-wise. We have really had nothing in the money department. Just enough to scrape by.
I mean, at least we can pay Kiki. Well, Meisher can't even pay Kiki.
Oh, Fear taking a rough death right outside of Eastern there.
Yeah, he's still at 4 hearts. All of our other runners have quite a bit more, but somehow Fear's been dodging the hearts. And, right, since the only things out of Mini... Well, really the only thing out of Mini Moldorm Cave was the Blue Mail. Fear didn't go down there just for Blue Mail, so he's on 4 hearts Green Mail. Walsh also is on green mail, but he has 6 hearts.
Yeah, this is just a part of co-op. Is you're not expecting to have a ton. I was surprised earlier today. I saw an open league race where one of the runners had 15 hearts, and I was like, "What happens?"
Interesting decision by Mishur, given that he doesn't have the mirror to do pod before Eastern.
It's a gamble. I mean, if he gets mirror here, it works out better for him.
That's true.
And the roomies.
And there are 5 items.
But there's Gamma with our 3rd Aga kill. He'll go get his Pearl now, with Walsh not far behind. The real distance here is just the fact that Walsh went for his Master Sword. Fear's been kind of just saying, I don't need to go get that Master Sword yet. I'm going to continue to delay the waterfall.
Yeah, maybe he's waiting for Zora money.
And there is our compass chest for the Eastern Palace Big Key.
Hey, did Gamma ever check the dig spot for all that?
I don't think he has.
And neither did Artie Walsh?
I did not notice if Walsh did, to be honest. Oh, this is why Gamma didn't get the bow. This is smart. Credit where it's due. Gamma working backwards from the fact that the small key was in the back. Really, really heads up from your mom's favorite rando team.
I forgot that he hadn't gotten the mitts yet. Oh, that was Bombos sitting there in pod map chest.
But there we go. There's our 2nd dungeon done on Team Kappa, I guess we'll say, side, getting Eastern done. Fear's first, unless we want to count all the Agas. So everybody's got Aga dead, though, now.
Bombos just put Ice Palace in Logic.
I'm going to delay on that one.
No rush to do Ice, imagine that.
No, it's like, you just have options here. I think, clear out some of your normal, checks. You've got something like, hey, I've got Thieves Town available. That's a pretty easy clear. Maybe I work that down to Hype Cave. If I can get Samaria before going in for the ice play, I think it's to your benefit, at least for now.
Now this is interesting. Gamma's giving us our first look at the mountain, but without either mirror or hook shot. All we can do is spec rock.
Well, he does have a cape. I don't know if he's really got enough health though for Spike Cave.
Yeah, it's not in Logic without either half magic or a bottle.
Yeah.
But he's gonna try it.
Well, this is a play. I don't think he can make it. He needed the fairy.
Yeah, I think 7 hearts and a cape is enough to cheese
This is tight. This is tight. No denying that. So, and he's gonna burn that cape to start. Okay. Yeah, he should be fine. Good use of the dash lines to get as much as he could out of it.
Yeah, probably couldn't have done it without boots. But it was also junk.
The knowledge is what you care about. Looks like there was a moment of hesitation there from Gamma about did he want to head here to Vu, but yeah, he's going to do Vu. We'll see if he joins Walsh in Skull Woods here. Oh, Powder. Right. Does he have the magic? That Sliver enough?
I think that should be enough to still use Powder.
Yep, just enough. And he can bonk for the full magic.
Ooh, for the Fire Rod.
Okay. Oh, wow. Miscue potentially on Towerumi's side if we did not check Magic Bat there because Artie Walsh had the equipment to do it.
I mean, they both have the equipment to do it now.
Yeah.
But, right, he doesn't have the mirror, so he can't readily get to Magic Bat. I don't know if Mishra will go over to that area, but... yeah, if you're in the vicinity to do a fetch quest, you do the fetch quest.
And Gamma also getting that full magic drop off the key or off the tree bonk, so...
Okay, Helma down for Jay Mishra.
And a second medallion.
Wow, 2 medallions in pod.
And honestly, I will say I like Fear's route here. He's saying, I don't have a mirror. I don't want to do death warping back and forth, but I've got my big key. Let me just go straight for Helma.
Yeah, that's why Mishra did a hammer jump, so that he could get everything in one loop back there without the mirror.
Yeah, I like seeing the different plays here for this kind of move. And yeah, Mishra and Fear just swapping places now.
So Gamma, with the Fire Rod, has the luxury of doing Skull Woods back to front. I didn't actually notice if there were any items in the front, or if Gamma's just going to be able to, you know, get stuff here in the back and be done.
Oh, we also got a Quake medallion on Walsh's side. Was that in Vu, I guess?
I guess. I totally missed that.
Yeah, the joys of 4 runners in 4 dungeons.
But I guess we won't be medallion hunting today.
Nope. Oh, Quake was in Skull, according to Cassidy. Thank you.
Okay. Shoutouts to Cassidy Moen and Valeti, our 2 trackers today. Keeping us honest, as always.
Yeah, Fear trying to take this as safe as possible right now. He is a 2-hit KO, so not an easy fight at all. Gonna switch to the bow.
Was that some weird glitch? It looked like Gamma only had 3 of the 4 torches lit in Torch Room, but the door still opened.
Sometimes you can have this moment where you hit the torch with a shot and it doesn't light up visibly. I had that happen recently in Mire, actually, and had the same kind of reaction.
Huh. Down goes Moth for the map.
And that is our green pendant, so Gamma does have an ability, you know, to consider, hey, maybe I go and do Eastern soon, but there was nothing in Eastern really driving him there.
Right, but he can do it on the way to Pod, and you probably want to pick up those medallions sooner rather than later.
Currently 4-2 on the dungeon count, but I will say Walsh and Mish are not far behind on tying that back up either. We're about to be 2-all for all the dungeons.
Yeah, the big thing is just that Fire Rod.
Yeah. And that's one of those things, like, if you're you know, if somebody miscommunicated that one or didn't make that check, it's very easy for the other teammate to kind of just go, surely my teammate already hit it.
Hey, and now we finally have Zora money with that 300 from the Thievestown Big Chest. But yeah, when are the Tile Roomies gonna check Magic Bat? Like, when they get the flute and have to go back to CAC to activate it?
I mean, maybe Mishra heads over that way now?
Maybe
like,
Walsh
the
grabs
fact-
the Smith and takes the Smith on a world tour and then checks
That might be the
Magic Bat and
best.
turns in Smith.
Although Mishra's heading into the Hype Cave area start for Dark Worlds. Bumper ledge is nothing, so that cape really not required today, except for just an added hint that Aga was very required.
There are 2 ways to do Aga today.
And only one did it the way with the cape.
Right. Well, I'm sure Fear was happy to, you know, swag maneuver through the barrier. Wow! I didn't even think about Eastern and Potter the 5-6, but here's Jay Mishra doing the big red bomb already.
Yeah, I mean, you got the money for it, and you got the crystals. Might as well. Give your teammates a chance to know if they should be rushing those 2 crystals.
But without the mirror, even though we have Aga Portal, we have to do it the long way. Looks like Fear also has the big red bomb on his mind. First bottle. So maybe that'll get him to Kakariko and Magic Bat because he'll want to check Sick Kid.
Yeah, that really works for Fear as well in this case because he has that incentive now. Like, it's not even going to be like a I'm chasing Gamma kind of thing. It's, well, I'm getting my Fire Rod and I'll do this, the Sick Kid check.
Looks like Jay Mishra, though, is going to do Ice Palace. Unless this is a Zora play. No, he doesn't have Zora money. His teammate has the Zora money. So this is kind of spicy for Tile Roomies. And I think this is when we're going to see the dig spot. I don't know if Gamma ever checked it, but Walsh is about to.
And we're also going to get Catfish over on Fear side. And there,
Gamma definitely didn't check the dig spot yet.
no, and it's unfortunate. Like, that's kind of, you know, that stinks for Mishra. I got to wonder, like, was there any thought of bail?
Oof, yeah, I mean, you almost want to bail out of Ice Palace when your teammate just found Samaria. No, he's continuing.
Yeah, and I see chat kind of going, yeah, why not just leave here?
Yeah, I agree with the leave idea. Okay, Smith's just doubling your money today. Let's hope Walsh remembers Magic Bat right here. Yes, he does. Okay. He's going to feel a little silly, but at least he's remembering it now and not half an hour from now.
But see, you can wait for ice until you have Samaria. It works perfectly.
Maybe Jay Mishra just really likes the bomb jump.
Oh, I just missed it, but Chad pointing out, if you're going to hook shot off a Catfish.
Oh, I missed that too.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm sure Gamma's overjoyed to know that he'll have to do Catfish.
Who doesn't love a good catfish play?
But yeah, now once again, it raises the question for Tile Roomies. When are they going to make it over there?
What you're really hoping for Tile Roomies is them not to find major progression here in ice. Mirror or flute would kind of be worst case right now.
So where's Walsh going now? Hammer pegs?
Yeah, hammer pegs and purple chest, it looks like.
I guess he figures Moth isn't particularly urgent. You can just do that anytime.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, GFE pointing out, you do it catfish with the Pyramid Fairy. Unfortunately, Mishra skipped catfish when he did Pyramid Fairy. So the question becomes once again, when does somebody from Tile Roomies hit it? Because, like, Walsh doesn't have any reason to go to Pyramid Fairy, knows it's nothing.
Yeah, this is one of those, you know, routing in a co-op race is a bit different than routing in a solo race. And you have to be more thorough as a team while dividing and conquering so that each individual runner can do fewer checks.
Right. And there's the ice route on purple chest.
Okay, so that's a good find.
These are a lot of gross items tonight, Drosy.
Yeah, and we don't know where the mirror is yet, other than it can't be in GT because we'll need it for Swamp. So...
yeah, we've had the bat for Fire Rod, Catfish for Hookshot, now purple chest for Ice Rod.
I mean, if mirror's on Trinex...
to Samaria.
We still don't have a flute either. Looks like Fear didn't find anything on the mountain, but yeah, Walsh still isn't going to be able to do anything on the mountain. Is he just kind of getting the save point?
I mean, do that and maybe get Spike Cave as well.
Yeah, I suppose. Mishra almost done with ice here. I don't think we found anything.
That's the big problem here with, like, Mishra not bailing, finding out about Samaria. Just so much back and forth here in this dungeon.
Yeah, it's just been a huge time sink that he could have been spending, you know, going places where the collection rate's much higher.
Yeah. Or come back to ice with Samaria. Like, this is minutes I feel like we're kind of throwing away.
I mean, Desert's not that slow. To answer chat, the shovel is on Desert Ledge.
And Mishra's gonna have to be really careful here.
Ooh. Okay, he had a fairy. I couldn't remember what was in the bottle.
And here comes that shovel check.
Okay, yeah, so that's good for Team Kappa. I'm just not gonna deal with the long name.
I mean, we're not just going to refer to them as your mom.
I don't think we've seen a PED check from anyone yet. Mira could still be on PED.
Yeah, I'm surprised Gamma did not give us that scout with that book he had.
Because the other thing to note is PED's in Logic now.
I will say one of the pluses right now for Kappa is that the Fear has no... Well, he doesn't have a Quake Medallion or a Cane of Samaria. So no worries of him trying to jump into TR here without Ice Rod.
Yeah, the question is, at what point do they do Purple Chest?
Well, and the fact that Gamma immediately save and quit after the Smith tells me we might not see him do Purple Chest for a bit.
So that could get spicy if your mom's favorite rando team, fine, I'll say it, is last locating Ice Rod while Pile Roomies last locate Hookshot.
Well, and by the looks of it, like, this hook shot might be the only way onto the mountain because it's looking more and more like Mir could show up in TR.
Yeah, it does seem like Mir's our deep item today. So where's Fear going? Oh, probably to Desert so that he can get the shovel so that he can get Samaria.
Yep.
And Gamma's probably going to do Ice now. He has Samaria, so he'll have a much faster time of it than Misher did. Artie Walsh getting the free elevator ride in Skull Woods.
And I'm kind of with GFE here. I could see Gamma into TR soon, and unfortunately, no way to save that portal today. Multiple reasons. We had it on, like, Ice Rod on Purple Chest, and Ag is dead. Yeah, I mean, realistically, at this point, Fear and Gamma have pretty much, and I would say Walsh and Misher not far behind either in that same regard, of like, most of the game has been cleared by both teams. Like, I think for your mom's favorite rando team, it's coming down to, like, they've got the TR play as kind of the thing they know they need to start looking at. And a Purple Chest.
You gotta love a seed where, like, 2 checks that everyone hates are required. Okay, so Fear is actually going through and beating Lanmo. It's an interesting decision. I kind of liked what Jay Misher did. He's like, okay, I know from my partner that Lanmo has junk. I'm gonna have to get the mirror before GT anyway, so I'll just combo the back of Desert with Meyer once I have the mirror. I do kind of want to see a TR play from Tile Roomies. I mean, TR play from your mom's favorite rando team would be unfortunate.
Well, and as chat pointing out, like, there's a very realistic possibility that your mom's favorite rando team ends up in GT looking for an Ice Rod at this rate.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Meanwhile, just because Hookshot locks more, like, as far as we can tell, the mirror is deep enough that the Hookshot is keeping them away from everything on Death Mountain. They're eventually going to be funneled to Catfish.
Oh, and yeah, Zora still remains.
And we can't combo them because no mirror.
Nope. But I think we're getting Zora. Artie Walsh heading up to our King Zora check.
So this will be our first look at that fish.
And Zora's got nothing.
Yeah, just a love lesson. Okay, Walsh is going to Aga Portal, so this could be a catfish play.
Could also be... Nah, this wouldn't be Pod. Yeah, this has got to be the catfish.
I mean, he'll probably do Pod before he goes to the mountain because he doesn't know TR is Quake and he knows the other two medallions are in Pod. So this is Fear doing the Skull Woods play, so he'll have his Quake. But yeah, it seems like Gamma and or Fear are likely to dip TR at this point.
Yeah, and this could, like, you gotta kind of hope that Fear stays away from TR a little bit. And at least that's the case for the moment going into Thieves to start. But, ugh, this is... The thing is like, Gamma should... Unless the progression is only on Trinex, like, what keeps Fear from just coming for progression here in TR?
Yeah, well, Trinex or Ped, Mirror could be in either of those spots. Yeah, it looks like Misher is now racing over to get his hookshot as well.
Question is, will Artie Walsh have... will Walsh be able to tell Misher that he needs to go get Quake before coming up?
I mean, he'll probably do Hera first.
Without Mirror, yeah.
At the same time, it means that Misher can maybe knock out Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave and save Walsh that. Also, it's kind of nice how the top two runners, who were the ones who didn't do Mini Moldorm Cave for their Blue Mail, both got the Blue Mail out of Paradox Cave.
Right.
So everyone's on Blue Mail now. Fear saved time by not being able to actually pull Ether Tablet.
Rounding out the front of TR, we did get 2 small keys and the big key today.
I guess it's all. I was just thinking. I guess it's also possible for Flute to still be on Trinex or Ped.
Yeah, it's very possible that Trinex has the answer at this point. It's just, you know, realistically, I feel like we're looking at it being somewhere else. I just realized Fear continues to just ride this fighter sword.
Oh, Chad is telling us that Gamma did check Pet at some point in its junk.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that read early. Lava Chest is nothing.
So, Misha about to find out the unfortunate news for him about TR, but I feel like that means they know that RD Walsh can beat TR, so he can go straight there.
Well, and I mean, Misha didn't even get his Ice Rod.
Oh, yeah. So, right. But now he knows that RD Walsh can full clear TR, so you send RD Walsh to TR while J. Misha does these checks. The Sphere pulls that Quake Medallion.
I mean, the big question here is are Fear and Gamma going to be able to build enough of a lead here that potential last location of an Ice Rod doesn't burn them,
Ooh!
Especially with a mirror there?
That was my ooh. Hello, Crystal. Yeah, you were saying that was bad news if they get big progression in TR that's not on Trinex. So that opens up Swamp. As well as all the one-off mirror checks like K45 and Bombos. Notably, Gamma did not go back to check Mimic Chest. I guess he can mirror after doing Laser Bridge. Oh, there's the Flute, too. Okay, it's gonna be a long time before Team Kappa gets that Ice Rod.
Yeah, that's GT mode. For them.
Yeah, and it's a matter of what locks more that Tile Roomies was late to that hook shot, but they were running out of locations. So eventually they were going to be funneled to Catfish. And just a shield and Mimic Cave. But that puts us in no mode. Fear having a rough Moth fight there, but finally gets him down.
Yeah, Hammer Moth not the friendliest fight to deal with.
He's still on Fighter Sword?
Yep, did not go to Waterfall.
And we still haven't seen the other two swords. Jeez, this race is interesting, and yeah, I'd give Tile Roomies a decided edge because they are going to be in go mode as soon as RD Walsh gets to Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
Honestly, sub-hour go mode in an all dungeons race is not bad.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the dungeon count, like, Gamma and Misha are currently both at 4. Misha about to get his 5th. Fear at 6 over Walsh's 3. And, like, it's a good advantage in terms of the dungeon count, but unfortunately, that purple chest just isn't going to be appealing forever.
And even when they finally get Ice Rod, it takes a few minutes to fully retraverse TR. You know, they'll have done a full clear of TR, and then they'll have to retraverse the whole thing. But yeah, while we're at a bit of a good pause point, let's talk about what happened the last time these teams faced each other in Season 6. They faced each other in Cross Keys Week, actually. R.D. Walsh beat Fear Agent, and Gamachu beat Jay Meisher. Fairly average seed times. They were all over 2 hours and under 2:10, so looks like no one got a particularly bad seed or a particularly good seed. Additionally, in the first round of playoffs, as Team Kappa swept out Tile Roomies, Fear Agent got a bit of revenge and beat R.D. Walsh in Kaz Boots.
And yeah, as Chat's pointing out, like the other big deals here is the fact that Tile Roomies has the ability to just go mode so much now. Fear and Gamma, you know, Gamma into Swamp Palace, he's going to be full clearing a lot of this dungeon.
Walsh, why did you just mirror? Oh, because he wanted to check.
Yeah.
I understand. Since he is now go -1, if he can get the flute in Mimic Cave, he just wants to be in go mode here. Either way, he'll be in go mode soon enough. Meanwhile, Jay Meisher doing Smith Chain for his Ice Rod. So even if a mirrorless Smith Chain isn't hard required, you have a choice between a mirrorless Smith Chain or a double dip of TR.
Right.
Well, I guess with your mom's favorite Rando team clearing everything, we will find out where all the remaining safeties are, because we're currently looking at Master Sword Silverless Ganon. Now, I don't know, maybe Trinex has Tempered Sword, maybe something on the way. Maybe there are swords or silvers on the way to GT Big Key.
Yeah, you feel like there's got to be something coming up for somebody here.
If you're rooting for your mom's favorite Rando team, you're probably hoping for GT Big Key and Tile Room at this point. That might be enough to get them back in it. But yes, Tile Roomies are now in go mode. Oh, I didn't even notice that Meyer was also Quake, so we didn't need either of those medallions out of Pod. But given that Bombos is right next to the Big Key, and Ether was on the boss. I feel like if you're RD Walsh, you do pod before you check Mire area. I think that's
hard
reasonable.
to say. I mean, knowing you're on Ingo, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like, that Bombos was not hard to get.
Yeah, it's literally next to the big key, and you do kind of need the big key.
Okay, and this could be one of the other avenues for Team Kappa here. Fear going to do some of these other checks. Like, this could also be Zora for him.
Nothing like the 59-minute Master Sword.
But like for Gamma, is down a dungeon. Fear's been clearing tons of dungeons. Maybe you just say, hey, Fear, knock out some of these extra checks that we just haven't had yet, and I'll just continue to route the dungeons, and we'll kind of even up a little bit.
I figure we should get Roomies music on since they're in go mode. Though it was a pretty cool MSU that Fear had.
Yeah. And well, I will say that, I thought maybe Fear would continue to do some extra checks. Looks like he is also switching over to dungeons.
I guess he just doesn't have that much left, but
really what we need is Fear to do Smith or Smith chain into Swamp.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure this one out because they're in GT mode. So you'd think they'd focus on crystal dungeons. And Fear has 5 crystals already.
Well, I mean, Gamma's routing out Mire, and I think the smart play here is that Gamma's able to say, did I find Ice Rod? What did I find here before you come into Mire? For your 6th crystal. And at that point, it's a little easier to kind of say how much he might need to do with a Swamp play if you want to play for Smith Chain. Like, maybe that's part of it. I get your point. Like, I could see this still being, ooh, Vanilla Big Key and Mire.
So everyone's gonna be doing cutscene. Gamma still hasn't done Pod Eastern, which is kind of surprising.
No, I like this play from Gamma. Route out. Well, the problem is he's behind dungeons now on Fear, and
right.
Maybe it would have made sense, but the problem is Gamma got that flute and mirror combo a lot earlier. Fear had a lot of steps to take before, was able to go get those same tools.
Meanwhile, RD Walsh opening all the chests on the way in Swamp, hoping for Sword or Silvers. I don't blame him.
Nope. Makes perfect sense.
Isn't that great? You can release a good bee in one room on a super tile and it'll still follow you into the next. And the next.
Four boss fights all at the same time.
Wow. All different bosses.
Both the bosses on the left side done. As the bosses on the right side enter their final phases.
There we go. Three crystals independent. So what does that put us up to? 6 for Gamma, 7 for Fear, 6 for Walsh, and 6 for Misher. So Tile Roomies are cumulatively only one dungeon behind.
And realistically, they're going to start going through dungeons a lot faster. Like, there's just no reason for them to slow down now.
Yeah, the interesting question is if Fear is at all tempted with that mirror to do Purple Chest.
And it doesn't look like he is. This is straight into Swamp Palace.
So Gamma and R.D. Walsh both going to wrap up Pod Eastern now. Really friendly pod layout, too.
You know, one of the crazy things about this is, you know, early on we were kind of like, the play that Fear made of Pyramid to Catfish was really a smart play. I think we all kind of were like, oh, that's, you know, that's the right call to make in the moment. But look what it's kind of done in that respect is the smart play here led them away from Ice Rod, whereas Tile Roomies, we can call a mistake from Misher's side to not go from Pyramid to Catfish, but it did lead them to an earlier Ice Rod. I think they prioritize that hook if they know it's there. And yeah, like, Rando has randoed, folks.
Yeah. We still need to ask them about that Samaria-less Ice Palace play, though. But yeah, the go mode routing we're seeing from both Gamma Chu and R.D. Walsh is really great. This is just like a really great pod layout. You grab the small key from Shooter Chest, and then you just go up the right side, get your big key, and rush the boss. I feel like at this point the sword and silvers have got to be in GT. That is both remaining swords and silvers.
Yeah, I think the only other real mirror check we have is what? Graveyard Ledge?
Yeah. Right, we've seen Checkerboard, right?
Maybe not. No, we had to have on Gamma's side, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine he'd skip it when he was doing Meyer and not in go mode. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting question if GT Big Key is deep or shallow. If it's deep, chances are everyone's picking up another sword and or silvers on their way to it, just because there's so many checks in GT Basement. If it's shallow, then Tile Roomies probably wind up on Master Sword silverless, while your mom's favorite rando team clear more of GT Basement and find out where those extra weapons are. But at the same time, it's going to eat time for them to do that, even though it'll save time on Ganon. Okay, Fear's fluting away. He's doing Meyer.
Yeah, I
Still
mean,
haven't
best
found
case,
half magic either.
Best case scenario, like Fear and Gamma end up in GT at roughly the same time, so they can clear it twice as fast. But even then, that's still not enough to kind of, work the time on it. Like, they are just behind because of this ice rod, and I don't see a way around it.
Unless Fear just kind of gigabrains doing purple chest before he goes to GT.
And even then, I don't think it's enough time to make up the dungeon counts are so close to begin with. Like, I can argue that Mishra's a little bit extra down, but 2 of those dungeons are Desert and Hera, which are super fast.
Well, he's already done the front of Desert, so he really just
Right.
has to mirror after this and rush the boss.
Yep.
And yeah, just since chat brought it up, we do go by average time here. I don't think it'll make a difference in this race, but it is always interesting when one team finishes 1 and 4 and the other finishes 2 and 3.
Yep. Which we have seen a lot of, I feel like, this week.
Yeah. Well, was it? I forget who was playing, but there was one race where 1 and 2 finished 10 seconds apart. And so then 3 was on the same team as 2. And so when they finished, the other team had 10 seconds for their 4th player to finish and they could still win. But no, it didn't happen.
That was my race.
Oh, that was your race? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've seen too many races this week already.
Yep. But no, I feel like we've definitely had quite a few restreams this week with these 1-4-2-3s, and it is exciting and nerve-wracking for the players. You get your first player in, and then you're like, okay, I'm kind of just building a little bit of a lead for you right now. And you're waiting, and then you see that second place from the other team, and you're like, okay, still good.
So we're now all at 8 dungeons. Except for Mishra's about to get his 8. Oh, nice call by R.D. Walsh there. Get some more arrows before you do Vidi. Since we know silvers are nowhere to be found so far.
Yeah, I see the point about like a late GT big key could help. The problem I'm seeing here is that I think Walsh and Mishra converge on GT roughly the same time. Like, Walsh has Ice and Mire, while Mishra has Hera, Desert, and Swamp. Like, I'd say roughly they'll be to GT around the same time at this rate.
Go mode Swamp with Specky Clip. I think Mishra will be there first because
yeah, no,
we know where Mire Big Key is.
Yeah, Fear and Gamma are converging on GT here, but like, unfortunately, as we said, we just know that this is, they're gonna get stuff. Like, we think there's at least a sword or 2 here and silvers, but we know that the most important prize, that ice rod, just isn't going to show up.
Oh, I totally forgot to do a GT Big Key prediction. Oh well. But yeah, how many checks will it take Gamma, and where? We do get a small key in hope, so we're going right. And Fear will be joining Gamma in GT momentarily, so...
Yeah, and it's going to be perfect timing, like Fear getting in there right as Gamma finishes up the right side.
So I'm guessing Gamma will go full right while Fear goes left. Oh,
Never
or
mind, there's...
no, Fear will go right. Oh, and... Oh, Gamma is deciding whether he wants to search for Ice Rod on the left side or climb. Bit of back and forth, but he's gonna search.
I mean, the majority of your checks that are left are here.
Right.
Like, you have no... There's no way you can't do this.
Yeah, I don't know why there was even indecision there. You know, maybe don't do Tile Room, but... You have to at least do the checks that just come up here. And for those of you following along at home, that was 6 checks. Mushroom. Now they're gonna be wondering if it's been on the potion shop all along. I'm guessing Fear will climb while Gamma continues checking the basement.
I mean, the fact that if it's on the climb... The problem is like, it's another mountain climb.
Yep. Oh, Fear, I guess, is going to get the mushroom just to hedge, if nothing else.
Could be following for anything potentially of value. You know, they could be feeling like the Ice Rod has to be here.
There's half magic. In Rando room. In my favorite chest.
And a Tempered Sword.
That really increases the likelihood that Tile Roomies wind up Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah, in this situation, like, DM route is pretty common for co-op, so like it would make a lot of sense.
No one's gonna go full right, even... Whoa! That was quite the boomerang throw for Fear. But yeah, and there's silvers in the big chest, so there is no way Tile Roomies are getting silvers. I mean, Tile Roomies' best hope is that the last sword's on the climb. Though I still think, you know, even if your mom's favorite rando team are doing Butter Sword Silvers and Tile Roomies are doing Master Sword Silverless, they still have enough of a lead.
And there you go. It's not there.
Okay, so
well,
may well
we know
be
it's not there.
may well be on the climb because we've... I mean, could be Graveyard Ledge, I suppose. Could be on the Mushroom, but we've seen almost everything. Oh, they're actually doing Tile Room. This is surprising. No? Gamma?
I think Gamma just ran by accident.
Oh, force of habit?
Yeah, who does Tile Room outside of cross keys or AD keys when you need to clear everything?
Right. I mean, you have enough other things, and you've got to not be feeling great.
Well, and here you go. Fear is skipping Tile.
Just some arrows. Meanwhile, Jay Meisher and R.D. Walsh are both about to collect their 7th crystal. Jay Meisher will be right at GT, so we'll see how he routes the basement.
Yeah, I think Meisher has enough time to do a DM route here, so I do not see a sword coming. I don't see the Rando room sword coming.
Yeah, I mean, unless for some reason he decides to Rando rush, but that just seems unlikely.
Yeah, that does not feel like the common sense play here.
So yeah, I mean, even just boss rushing in TR takes so long, and there's another mountain climb. Even with the sword and silver's difference, I don't see how. I don't see how Fear and Gamma come back from this.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're almost would have to see like the last swords on Graveyard Ledge, and then it becomes a Master Sword Silverless fight, and that's like the one thing that might give enough time. Just because that fight, Master Sword Silverless with such low percent in the co-op, is not a gimme fight.
And they're not going to get half magic either.
Right.
But, yeah, if you like what you're seeing today, why not give these runners a follow? And if you really like what you're seeing, why not check out their next match, which has been scheduled for 9:40 p.m. Eastern this Friday. It'll be Fear and Gamachu again versus Jay Meisher and Plasma Kappa this time. Also should be a great match.
I don't know. I heard there was another match at that time, but, you know, I might be biased.
Well, who told you to schedule yours then, or your teammates rather, to schedule theirs then?
We scheduled ours first.
Oh, so there is a sword in post-Moldorm chest, so I have to imagine Tile Roomies will open that, and so they'll be doing Tempered Silverless, which is a much better Ganon fight.
Yep. And Meisher's on the climb, so...
Yeah, Meisher may well sub 130 this, and R.D. Walsh won't be very far behind.
Yeah, I think... Can't say for sure, but that sword not showing up could maybe swing this, depending on how quick Gamma and Fear get to that purple chest. But given the sword, I don't know if it matters. Because you gotta climb the mountain and kill Trinex. And luckily it's just a save and quit after that, but that's still...
And I trust these guys to do a pretty quick Tempered Silverless fight. It's just NMG.
So it looks like Fear is probably going to rush Green Pendant? No. Graveyard Ledge.
The one thing we haven't seen. Gamma is doing Purple Chest.
And it makes a lot of sense, because I think Gamma had already done the Smith.
Right.
So he's the one getting the new information here. Oh, this is the Mushroom.
Makes sense. Well, that was a lagorific room for R.D. Walsh. Yes, we're using slow ROM. So, go mode incoming for Gamachu in about 5 or 10 seconds.
And there's the info.
But yeah, that does not feel good, I'm sure. Gamma going straight to the mountain. Then you save and quit to Pyramid, at least since you've beaten Aga and you have the mirror, you will save and quit to Pyramid. It's going to be close, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
No, and unfortunately, Fear has to grab Jeremiah first to then go turn it. He doesn't even have to talk to Jeremiah. He just has to get Jeremiah back home.
Right. It is kind of a funny thing. You just have to return the Smith. You don't have to actually get their item. I saw Futon once lose a race over that, where he returned the Smith and then immediately went and got the purple chest, and unfortunately for him, the Smith had an important item.
Yeah, like as you can see, Gamma and Mishra, like Gamma's just gonna have to get through TR, and Mishra's got the Moldorm 2 fight. Ooh, getting bullied.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Moldorm 2 can still troll you. But yeah, he will get his tempered here. I mean, I'd be shocked if he doesn't open it. Okay, there we go, yeah.
Yep, there's the info. And that's the thing, that halves phase 4. Like, there's your time.
Yeah, I mean, without that tempered sword, Fear and Gamma might have a decent shot just because the Ganon fight for Tile Roomies would be so long.
Yeah. Phase 1, 2, and 4 being that much longer really could have swung this, but I feel like at this point, like, Gamma looks a little bit behind Mishra, and Fear is behind Walsh.
Ooh, but Mishra having some serious problems with Aga 2 after a triple to open the fight.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a 5 cycle. Of course, things like Ganon falls are still possible. Missing the torch glitch, what have you.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some of that this week already, so...
Yeah, hey, GFE, you wouldn't know anything about people missing torch glitches. Yeah, Jay Mishra first into the Ganon fight, but Gamma will be not far behind at all. And of course, Buttersword Trinix fight is going to go really fast.
Although missing the 1-in-1 here for Mishra, unfortunate.
Yeah, and this is not a very good position, so he's not gonna get the 1 cycle on phase 2 either. Walsh also having a rough Aga 2.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed if the fight was tough for Fear and Gamma.
I didn't either. But he will also have a 5 cycle here. Meanwhile, Jay Mishra is on phase 3.
And Gamma takes down Trinex, so he'll be dropping in not far behind Mishra, but Walsh isn't far behind Gamma.
And Fear still has to get to Trinex from the dark... What do you call this? The dark platform maze?
Dark Maze.
Well, Dark Maze is pod.
Every dungeon can have a Dark Maze. I mean, it's like, you know, ice...
Did Walsh just take a Ganon fall? No, Walsh just dropped in. Mishra's on phase 4.
Yeah.
We have 3 Ganon fights going on. It's hard to keep track.
And that's the thing, like, Gamma's already into phase 3.
Right.
Walsh missed the one cycle phase 1 as well.
And
So
Jay Meisher is probably maybe about 8 spins into phase 4. Okay, get your GG's in for Jay Meisher. Just has to cross this bridge, but he will
Gamma setting up for a triple.
Yeah.
And there's a triple for his kill.
So from Gamma's standpoint, this is going to be a fanfare snipe.
Yeah. But yeah, there's Meisher done first overall with a 129.20. Gamma right behind with a 129.27. Now we've just got Walsh and Fear left.
Yeah, I mean, Walsh is obviously on to phase 4 already. As long as he doesn't fall, he should have this, but a Ganon fall could very easily swing it because, again, Fear's on Buttersword Silvers.
Yep.
It sounded like Walsh missed that spin. Meanwhile, Fear already on phase 2.
Yeah, nice easy 1-1 with that Buttersword here in phase 2.
Walsh getting low on magic, but there we go. That is 12 hits. Get your GG's in for RD Walsh and the Tile Roomies.
Yep, and there we go. RD Walsh finishing with a 130.45, and that does seal it for Tile Roomies here in their first game of the season.
That was a crazy race and much closer than I think anyone expected. I mean, for the first part, it looked like your mom's favorite Rando team was going to have a blowout. Then it looked like Tile Roomies were going to have a blowout, and
yeah,
ended up being very close.
And here we go. Fear Agent is going to cross the bridge and close out this race, finishing with an official race time of 1:31.19. GG's to your mom's favorite Rando team.
So, that's a 34-second difference between Walsh and Fear. So, on average, about a 20-second difference between the two teams overall. And we are joined by, well, so far, both Tile Roomies and Gamachu. GG's, guys, that was a heck of a race. And here's Fear Agent. GG as well.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
So, Ice Rod.
I don't. I have to watch back. I don't understand how this is.
So here's what I can tell you happened. At least from my view on this one, Fear and I think it was Meisher. You guys both end up early at Pyramid Fairy, and Fear, you continue on to Catfish. Meisher, take us inside the decision to not go to Catfish there.
I don't know that I could give you a great answer because I was definitely thinking about it. Yeah, I don't know. I was feeling pretty aimless at that point. I was thinking about Catfish, and Walsh was in the middle of doing the Smith chain stuff, and there really wasn't a lot left. I'm trying to think what else there was beyond Ice Palace or Catfish's aura. Yeah, like looking back on it, it might have actually helped us inadvertently, because then Walsh continues with Smith Chain and gets the Ice Rod. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like in the heat of the moment, I know it was going through my mind. I had a thought about it, but yeah, as soon as I grabbed those two chests and it was nothing, I just saved and quit and started looking for the next thing to do.
Yeah.
If only the other two swords were in Rando room, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that was the
definitely.
thing. We were like, as soon as you pulled that butter off of the last possession, we were like, oh, that could be it. Like, things looked close, especially with how fast you guys kind of beelined Ice Rod there.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
was telling Fear, I don't know if they're the kind to maybe full clear before making the TR play. I want to clear this before touching Meyer. And once I found the ice rod, I told them we probably are going to lose while we're in TR or something. And when I dropped down, I told them I think they probably last okay to ice rod or go to TR without ice rod. I don't know. So I just, we're just kind of sitting there, just, let's see and wait and see what happens.
No, I think for us, we ended up doing a lot of really dumb stuff, like
Yeah.
going through. I went in of course, I go into Ice Palace, and as I'm starting that dungeon, Walsh is like, "Oh, hey, here's the fire rod. Oh yeah, by the way, here's the cane." And
Was there
I was
any
like,
consideration on bailing right then when he said Kane?
I thought about it, but I was already kind of in there, and I was like 100% at that point. Once I decided to go in, I was 100% committed to this stupid mirrors and Ice Palace. And I might as well just
Oh,
get
is
it.
that what you thought?
Yeah. No, it was actually in a much worse location. And then once we got that hook shot and went up the mountain, and I saw that Quake was there. I realized, oh boy, I'm gonna have to go back down. And we basically intuited by that point mirrors in TR. It has to be. And I was like, man, I'm gonna have to do the dumbest walk around possible to try and get this ice rod before I go back up to TR. So yeah, I think part of the reason it ended up being close was like we definitely made some execution errors and also just some kind of silly routing decisions at certain
You guys
points.
took a while to check Magic Bat. We'd been talking about it for a bit because, Hammer and Powder were both Sphere 1.
Yeah.
I was on like Village of Aka. I guess for me, like it's always like a little bit hard because like I'm really used to solo playing, right? Like I don't really do like League is pretty much the only place where I co-op. Hi guys. So yeah, like I'm used to like just kind of like playing for efficiency, just like kind of like playing for myself and just like making the plays that I would make, like playing solo. So not doing that there is something that I would do in like a ladder race or a weekly or something. And I guess I just kind of like muscle memory that rather than like thinking, hey, this is co-op. I'm supposed to be gathering information. I should get the information about the bat. So yeah, like that's just like me not really like being used to the mode, I guess.
Yeah, I think the other thing was we were pretty once we knew that the Moon Pearl was behind Aga, so we were like, okay, we were kind of hyper focused, I think, on finishing that up. So yeah, I made the call once we had that second sword. It was like, I'm just gonna go do Aga, and then we were kind of all in on Dark World at that point. It felt, I don't know, in the moment it didn't feel like too bad of a call to skip out on Magic Bat, but
we felt great.
Pretty important.
We felt great until the ice rod wasn't in Turtle Rock. Then we actually felt like we played really well, and we felt like our route was really clean. It just we didn't do purple chest because it's awful for us to do at the time.
Yeah,
and it's like, do you do purple chest or do you go to Turtle Rock? And it's like, oh, of course you go to Turtle Rock. You don't, and it is what it is, and we knew that we were playing two strong runners, and so that was going to be really scary too. So when it was close and Gamma was about to kill Gant, and he was exploding, he's like, all right, I got first, so just take care of this. And then right before he dot duns, Misha dot duns, I was like, what just happened? So
yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah, I did call this shot a little bit as we were feeling really bad about that hook shot. I was like, oh, these guys don't typically like to do Smith Chain, so maybe Ice Rod saves our butts here. And hey, it did end up saving us. Really close race though. That was I knew it was going to be. I never feel like, especially with playing against you guys, just insane runners. Like I knew. Even though neither of you had finished, I was like, this is still going to be really close. I'm sure of it. So that was a lot of fun and close race.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really get a chance to play with them too much, so it was fun going into this race, racing them. So yeah,
And
GG's
early
again to you
boots,
both.
right? I was actually excited to see that Moon Pearl there because I was like, "All right, we get boots early," and then it was like right there. So that was really nice.
It was a nice boots location.
Yeah, super nice. I'll take that.
Nice bug net location too. Did you tell Gamma, or did he have to figure it out for himself?
I had to tell him because I know he would cry afterwards if I didn't tell him.
I got
Also,
it 100%. So.
Today I learned that red guards do 1 heart of damage and not half a heart of damage. So
Oh,
I've
right.
been playing this game for
that-
5 years, and I
that
just
death.
learned that today. That stunk.
Yeah, that's the downside of having to do the early Aga play.
4 hearts pod was really scary. That was really scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Four Hearts Green Mail.
Yeah.
Bravo
yeah,
on that helmet kill.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We were
Yeah,
at like when you were in pod, we're like, you know, our other 3 runners are all like close to a full row of hearts, and on Master Sword, Fierce just here with green mail, fighter sword, and 4 hearts.
yeah. And I just died outside of Eastern, so the confidence was shaky for sure. But I knew that I had to carry Gamma Chew through this. So I told Gamma, I got you, dude. We're sorry to make everyone's mom sad today that their favorite Rando team didn't win, but maybe we can come back on Friday and get the W.
My mom will never forgive me.
That's right.
Well, certainly good luck to all of you. I'm looking forward to another close race on Friday.
Yeah, that'll be myself and Plasma Kappa. So should be another fun race. And I think for us, we were coming into this just like, if we can get one win this week, we'll be ecstatic. So mission accomplished there. But we'll definitely do our best to try and get the second one on Friday. Should be a lot of fun again.
Yeah, for sure. GG's, guys, and we'll see you Friday. Thanks for the comms and trackers, by the way.
Yeah, once again, thanks to the runners, and also shout-outs to our trackers, Cassidy, Moen, and Valady, who did a great job here. Really, it's hard to keep track of 4 screens at once.
Yeah.
And Jesse, thanks for joining me on this.
It was a pleasure, Drossi. I always enjoy those times we get to calm together.
Definitely. And it was a fun race to do it, too.
Yeah, this was a great one. I will say we do have, I believe, one other race going on right now over on SpeedGaming 3.
Yep.
Over in the Open League, we've got Grouchy Old Men with Verts and Slowpoke versus the Uncle Routers with Orange and Breadcoon. So definitely a good race going on over there. But yeah, I believe that's the last restream for today.
Yeah, so we'll bump you guys over to there once we sign off, because that should be a pretty exciting one. And it's also nice that we've been able to get some Open League races, Speed Gaming restreams here, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, please do follow Speed Gaming 2 through 6, the ALTTPR League, the ALTTPR League 2 through 4. Keep an eye on our schedule to see where everything is going to be, because we have a lot of races over the next several weeks. So I think that'll do it. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you around.